Hello and welcome, Paula here. And this is Black Desert Online. Now, please do excuse the mess that's on your screen right now. This is a fairly popular fishing spot. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about fishing and making money with fish. So, what I've done is I've come out here, I've been fishing, and I've collected a few fish. Normally, I would fish for a lot longer and fill my inventory up with more yellows, I guess, rares, yellows. And I would go sell them for profit. So there's a few things I'm going to have to go over. First being, I am fishing at a fishing spot. A fishing hotspot. Now these hotspots move every now and then, and there's no indication on where they are. There may be some pre-designated spots that people may know from the Korean version, but unfortunately I don't know. I just tend to look for the highest concentration of people and I go there and fish. So a few things we're going to have to cover in this video. First things first, I've got a fish, I've got a bite on the line. Let's reel it in. So when you do it, you'll get this bar and you'll want to hit space at the right time, and then you'll get this little quick time thing, and there we go. That's fishing. That's the basics of fishing. It's very, very simple. Very easy to do. Now, I buy just a basic fishing rod, and that's just run out of durability, so I can re-equip my sword, throw away the old one, and let's go and sell these fish. Now, this particular fishing hotspot is in just north of the coastal cave by Velia. I'll show you from shore, a good way to see it. Now, the fishing spots will move locations every now and then, and there are a few predetermined ones that people who have played the Korean version may know of, but I don't, unfortunately. So I just look for where everyone's at. Now, a little tip, at least if you're coming for the coastal cave hotspot, what you'll want to do is, Velia's over there, follow the shoreline down, you'll get to this bit, the cave's there. Jump onto this rock. Now, depending on what your graphical settings are, I've got everything maxed out, including the draw distance, so I get to see things, see these ships from this location. Now, you can swim out from here, which is good. You don't need a boat, and you can just sit on someone else's boat. Just make sure that they don't sail off and dump you in the water, and you eventually drown if you're AFK like I did. So, yeah, you'll be able to see that. If you can't see it, just swim out. Again, this fishing hotspot may change. It's not going to be here forever, and by the time this video comes out, it could have changed. So, one other thing you can do to find a hotspot, to find a potential hotspot, is kind of sneaky. Let me just get my horse. And it's worth noting, if you've had a fishing rod equipped, your items, like your cosmetics, wardrobe items, will unequip. So you'll have to re-equip them, but unfortunately you can't do that while riding a horse. So, I want to quickly go up here, just show you guys this little trick. If you're looking for a good place to fish, it's never a bad idea to assume that the highest fisherman on the server is already at a pretty good spot. That's what a lot of people have been doing. So what you want to do is go to the tavern and talk to this geezer. And you can pay him some energy and some silver to search for someone on this channel, and he'll mark it on your map. Now, what you want to do is go to your ranking, go to fishing, and in this case, it would be Zizansu or one of these other people here, and you try and find their location, and you type in their name, it will show their location. You can go to them and see what's happening. That's not a bad way of doing it. Right then, let's move on. Oh, and I probably should have said before we leave, in case you're wondering, how do I get a fishing rod? Because I seem to have skipped over that part. You will want to talk to the little, depending on where you are, of course. There is normally a NPC that will sell tools, or a fisherman, or I want to say that the boatmaster, the wharf master, may have a shop option, but normally talk to a fish vendor like this guy.
Welcome. Crack. Fish here are fresh. Crack.
Worst voice acting in the game. You can buy a fishing rod. It's got pretty high durability, 30, which isn't bad, and you can be on your way. Now, we are going to make our way towards Trent. Now, I'm going to explain this as we travel. Okay, so the idea here is that in order to sell fish, you need to have nodes connected up. For instance, if I catch a fish here in Velia and I want to sell it here in Calfian, if these nodes aren't hooked up, I won't get the distance bonus, meaning that the fish will sell for whatever price I catch them at, meaning I may as well sell them to a vendor, which is no good. So what you'll want to do at some point is hook up, at the very least, like all the towns, all the cities is a good idea to do. Like hook up Velia to Hydel and Hydel to Calfian, at least that's what I've done. And hooking Calfian all the way up to Trent. Now Trent's like the furthest little village away from pretty well everything, so it makes a good point to have hooked up in case you want to sell goods and make some profit. So let me show you my route. So I currently have Trent hooked up to Longleaf Tree, a sentry post, to here, up to Bear. It trails off because I have it going down to the Hex Sanctuary for farming purposes, but this will keep going up here to Calfian. There are quicker ways and better ways to do this, so I would recommend googling it first for a better map, but this is just how I have things at the moment. And from here, now this will give me a distance bonus when selling, and I believe at the moment, until they release the desert, the highest distance bonus you can get is 55%, so that's 55% extra profit you'll be making. Now I actually have this hooked out to the ocean here on these various islands, because when I first started fishing hotspots, one of the first fishing hotspots I found was over here. But it's important to note that even though it was next to Ilya Island, the fish were, even though I caught them over here, were considered a part of this place, Racid Island. So they were considered a part of this region for whatever reason. Now, because I was catching fish down here in Velia, they were considered a part of Luviano Island. So you have to make sure you've got these nodes connected up. And the way you can check is by looking at your fish, and it will tell you right under where it says price guarantee, it'll say origin, Luviano Island. Now you can see this on other trade goods that you end up looting. For instance, this witch magic pouch will say origin Hex Sanctuary. So we now have to travel down to Trent, which does take a while. But the good thing about fishing is that you can AFK it. Now you can leave your computer on overnight while you sleep and have your character just fish in a spot. Maybe you'll get some good stuff. And after that, you can, when you get up, you can just go sell them. It's an easy way to make money, and you can make some good money. Now I'm not going to pull in a very substantial haul from this run, purely because I haven't been fishing too long. Normally what I'd do, I would make sure my inventory was like full of yellows before I sell, because the yellows are basically doubled in price, so they go from about 20k to just under 40, and the blues are about 6k, so they end up selling for around 10-12, which isn't great, so I tend to just wait until I've got my yellows. Now, another thing that you can actually catch while fishing is a silver key. These silver keys are used for opening up the various hidden treasure chests that you may find scattered around the world. You've probably seen a few of them while you're grinding and leveling up, and then you may have thought to yourself, well, how do I open this? Well, the answer is you need to fish up one of these keys. Okay, we've finally made it. So, this is Trent. This is the place you will want to have hooked up. Now, when you arrive, you will want to make your way to the main street. And somewhere will be the trade manager. Now when you're on the trading menu, this is definitely recommended. You will want to go to bargain here before you sell anything. It will consume 5 energy, but it's worth it. Now you will want to get this scales balanced properly, so you'll have to press these buttons to try and get the success like that. Sometimes it's really easy like that was, sometimes it may take you several attempts. This will increase the price by 5%, which is well worth it for a small energy bonus. Now you can see here all of the items I have and how much they're worth. Like 130% market price. I've got a trade distance of 39%. For some reason I was thinking it was 55. It depends where you take it from or where you sell it from. I've got the these I don't actually want to sell here because I can get more for selling them in Velia. So I currently set at 20k. Normally you can just hit sell all, but since I want to be kind of particular with what I'm selling, I'll just do it manually. So we'll just sell all of these. Now again, I want to point out that I would have made a lot more money if I was just selling yellows. And you can see here, the blue fish are only worth about 11k, 12k max, which isn't great. You're better off ditching those and just fishing for yellows. So I made about 300k. That's not great. That's not normally what I bring in. I normally bring in about 800,000, but for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to give you an example of how it works. Hopefully you found this useful. And again, just to stress, I have bought the fish from here, which are counted as Luviano Island, so they've travelled basically all the way around here to Trent. So yeah, that's how you should be working the fish. Now it depends, of course, where you fish them from. You may fish them from somewhere else, which is closer to Trent than it is to Velia, at which point you'll want to take them further away. Oh, most likely you'll want to take him to the opposite corner, which would be Ilia Island. It just depends. It just depends. But that is the basics of fishing and what you want to do with fish to make a profit. Hope it's been helpful. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time.